Welcome, everybody, back to the Cards of the Octagon YouTube channel. Today, we've got an amazing guest on, number 4 featherweight in the UFC, Josh Emmett. Everybody, welcome him. We're super excited to have him in today.
Cool. It's great to be here. Hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah,
We're doing well.
We're going to sit around with Josh for a little bit and ask him some questions. We're super excited, man. So first, I just want to ask Josh, we'll start off with this. Do you collect any sports cards? Are you into sports cards? Do you collect at all?
Yeah, so I used to be huge into sports cards. When I was younger, I was just a fan of all sports, especially the cards I mainly collected would mostly be basketball. So I have a lot of good cards, like even looking back at things during COVID, had nothing to do. So pulled out my old collection and yeah, I have tons of Kobe rookies. I had a lot of Duncan rookies, like old school basketball players, because I was collecting probably when I was in like elementary and middle school. As far as like the UFC cards go, I don't really collect them, but I do have quite a bit of them. A lot of people send me my own, like you sent me one that was awesome. Thank you. That the autograph one. Man. So my one of my best friends too, he's huge into collecting everything still. So he's like one of those guys that he stands outside Walmart, Target, like he knows where like the route of the guy. And I actually have 6 friends that do that. So like they just kind of know their stops. So they're going at like 5 a.m. or staying the night, and he always hits me up and he's like, hey, you want to come out here and stay the night? I'm like, no, you guys are crazy. I'm not staying the night out there. But they do it and they send like all their cards to get graded. So they have so many, and he collects all of my cards. Like, so he has everyone except the Black Prism, 1 of 1.
Oh, really?
Wow. And I know who has that. It's this guy in New Zealand. He on one of his shows, kind of like what you guys are doing, his podcast, he does breaks, and someone pulled, or he opened the 1 of 1 Black Prism, but someone bought it because they're like, any Josh Emmett card that you break or rip. And so that guy lucked out, but he actually talked to the guy and got it back from him. And he says, when I go to Australia, and he said this has been going on for like a year and a half or more. He says, eventually, if I come to Australia or he comes to one of my fights in the States, he's going to bring it and hand deliver it to me. So I thought that's super cool, because I was like,
yeah, that's amazing.
I was going to buy it off of him, for like $1,000. And he's like, no, I want to hand deliver this to you. I was like, all right. So we still chat here and there. So, but no, I do have quite a bit of like, cards, like just of my own, but it is fun to, just kind of collect those. It's kind of different just from me being like a fan of collecting, sports cards growing up. And then, it's, I have hopped on some things and done some breaks with people, because I know, everything about the UFC, just because it's, I was always a fan of it. And then now I'm fighting, and it's like, so I know so much, to whereas when I was younger and I followed football and basketball, I used to know every stat and stuff about my teams and players. But then as I got older and worked, I kind of fell out of it. So it's like, I'm one of those guys that I'm like, oh, so-and-so is still playing. And they're like, they traded him 5 years ago. Like, oh,
makes sense.
Shows how much I know,
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know you talked a little bit about like collecting basketball stuff. Like, I know you're in Sacramento, right? So are you a Kings fan? Is that who you like to collect basketball wise?
Yeah, not as far as just Kings, but even back in the day when it was like the Fab Five, it's I went to a lot of the games, because one of my friends they had season tickets, so I went to like every single Kings game, except when it was like the Lakers. They would give those out to other people, or the Bulls. That's when like Jordan was playing still, like Bryant was playing, things like that. But other than that, I do like the Kings. I like going and supporting just anything Sacramento and local. And as far as football goes, I was always a huge Raider fan growing up. And then my best friend and actually some of my good friends, they're huge Raider fan, so getting back into it, by default, I'd have to be Raiders, you know. And I have a buddy that plays for the Raiders, so yeah, I'm always rooting for him.
Sweet. Have you noticed a different kind of aura about cards with MMA fighters? Because of course Panini got the rights, I think almost 2 years ago now. Has there been sort of a different like opinion or look or like a different type of view of cards? Because I feel like they've gotten more mainstream in the UFC now, especially. Whereas with Topps, they weren't really big in UFC cards when they were the manufacturer, I guess.
Yeah, no, and I do feel like the Panini that, you know, they've done really well with the cards, like in some action shots and stuff. But there are a few cards of mine that I'm like, that's a horrible picture. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, I think one where my hand's being raised and it's like this weird angle. And I'm just like, it's such a weird angle. But I'm like, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, but I think they've done a phenomenal job where I think they're better than, you know, like the old Pops ones. And I think there's just so many fans. And then I think Gary Vee started this whole collecting thing again, you know, because it was so big when I was a kid. And then during all the, like when he's doing his garage sale stuff and COVID and he's talking about cars and grading it, then everyone started going and collecting more. It seems like that's just my opinion. Like, but I feel like he started this again. And then it's like you send your stuff in to get graded. It's is it by Bectic or what's the popular
Beckett and PSA or
the PSA. The PSA is like, you know, when they're booked out, it's like you don't get your stuff back for like 3 to 6 months. That's insane, you know. And I just know because my buddy, he's like, he has like hundreds of them. Every day he's getting stuff that's graded. You know, he even goes and gets my cards graded. So it's kind of funny.
Cool.
Like,
it's awesome.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. But you know, I think Gary Vee started this collecting thing again, and it's pretty cool to like be a part of and kind of witness it.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Just being in our store, we have a hobby shop in St. Louis here, and we see kids every day come in looking for cards of various sports, whether it be, you know, baseball, basketball, UFC, hockey. It's definitely kind of become cool to be a collector of cards again in some sort of the sense. Definitely.
Yeah, and that's even going back to like even just collecting in general. You know, it's like people did like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and then they have all the.
I collect Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay, and see, that's the thing. Like, I wish, like, I must have been in, like in middle school and stuff. Like, and that's when Pokemon first, you know, they had the licenses, and then like they were selling the packs. I was buying those, like I had them, but then I don't know where they are now, and I'm like, I'm one of those guys that's like, damn it, I probably, if I would have saved them, but it's just kind of cool. But even going into like some of the, you know, NFTs, and I don't know if you guys are into any of that, but like there's this you know, you can download it on your phone, Vivi, and it's like they're digital collectibles that are licensed. So it's awesome. So you can get that kind of collector feeling again, you know. So they have like all the IP rights to like the biggest brands in the world, you know, from like DC, Marvel, Disney, like, and that's so awesome. On. So it's and so you're talking about Pokemon. It's one of the guys, Alcon, I think his name is, but he had the license. He's the one that brought Pokemon over to the US, and he's on their board. So everyone, it's speculation, but everyone keeps saying that Pokemon is going to come. So that's something you got to check into. It's
for sure.
You know, in the App Store. Right. So yeah,
that's super cool, man.
Yeah, I guess one question I had for you, Josh, is we see all these cards, but for us, we see the cards from the other end, where, you know, we rip the packs and then we see your cards. What does it kind of look? What's the process look like before? Like behind the scenes, like how do you get them? Do you send them back? Is there like someone that comes in with like a briefcase and a suit?
Yeah, so I think let's see if I can. I was gonna say the card that this one, like, I don't know how the other cards go. They just kind of like print them, and then I want to say, did I get a check? I don't think we got any money from like just the regular ones, but as far as like the autograph ones go, so that's like my only one. So the autograph, they they actually, before COVID, used to fly out to Panini, or sometimes one of their employees would come to the gym. And then it's just like think of like an 8x10 just sheet, and it's with all the stickers, you know what I mean? So they just send that out to me now. And then with the proper, a few of the markers, and then I literally just sign them. So I signed, I don't even know how many it was. I want to say like 3,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So every day I was just doing it. And then you know how you're writing.
Yeah.
It's like, who the hell writes anymore? You know, we all have like computers and phones. So it's like, finger is a little less conditioned, I guess you could say. But I would go through and do, I'd mainly spend I'd be like, I'm going to do a half hour today. And I would just sign for a half hour. And then after that, they send you everything, like everything labeled. And so all I do is just put them in, and then I take it to it was like FedEx or something, and have to send them back the receipts and stuff like that. But that's about it. As far as and then they came up with that card, that picture. I took that picture. It was after a fight. It was last year, December. So I recognized the picture, but then they did all the graphics and stuff like that. They don't tell us anything. It's just sign this, and then they'll, cut you a little check. And then with the fight worn, or I don't even think it's fight worn. It's just just
memorabilia.
Just worn. Something. We have to actually put it on. So we wear it. So it's technically worn by the fighter, and then we send it back to them in a box and do the same thing. So that's kind of the way they've gone around, or since COVID, and I think it's just easier just in general. They probably just do that now, it's so much easier. Ship out some stickers, and then we sign the stickers, send them back. They pick the card and place it on there somehow.
That's awesome. That's definitely really cool to hear.
I heard, wasn't there a football player that he like, I don't know if you guys knew, but my buddy was telling me about it, that collects card. He I don't think he sent them back. You know what I mean? I think he's like, I'm going to keep these and like give them out to his friends or something. Like,
I think a Leaf sued CD Lamb. I think it was.
Okay.
Because he didn't fulfill some contract that he signed, or he wanted more money after the fact. But yeah, we hear about it a lot. It's like,
so he held a bunch back, and it's like, I thought that was kind of funny. Like, if they sent out the cards and I was going to sign it, I was like, I was hoping to like, keep the 1-on-1 or something, or at least ask him if I could hold on to some.
Have they sent you like physical cards to sign, or has it all been stickers?
Just the stickers. Yeah. And that's the only one that I think that's my only auto. But yeah, just stickers for me. So I signed 3,000. So I'm not sure how many of those they have, unless they're going to do like another card, and they don't really, they don't really tell us or keep us posted what they're doing. We just sign.
Yeah, I know they're making Optic. Optic comes out, I think, in a couple of weeks, a new product, and that they'll have sticker autographs in that set. So maybe you'll be in that one, Josh. That'll be cool.
So maybe that'll be one of the like the apparel worn stuff with a signature. That'll be cool. What I'm guessing.
Yeah, that'd be super cool, because like you said, I think that is your only auto and product currently, is the one that you have over there. It's in the new Chronicles that came out a couple months ago. So hopefully we get to see you in the next product, because
that'd be awesome.
Your cards are awesome, man. And I know from watching other people's streams and people wanting to get your stuff, it's hard to find, man, and everybody wants it. So we want to see you in the next product for sure.
It's probably my buddies. It's like they're always like on eBay. They're buying them, and then my other friends outbidding them, and like they're always giving each other shit. And I'm just like, man, stop wasting your money on that, But they want to collect them all and get all the colors and all of them. So it is kind of cool and fun at the same time to witness.
For sure. Okay, so I had a little idea of something we could do real quick. Let's start this up. So we're going to play a real quick game with Josh real quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to name 2 UFC fighters, and then I've got a list of, let's just say, 5 of them. And Josh is going to guess or name which one he thinks sells better in the UFC card market. So we're going to start Sean O'Malley or Aljamain Sterling. Which one do you think sells better as far as cards go?
Sean O'Malley.
You're correct. There you go.
Easy one to start it off.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to start off easy and go to the next one. So next we got Leon Edwards or Hamzat Chimaev.
Hamza.
Man, you're on fire so
On
far.
the roll.
All right, let's keep going. We got Paddy Pimblett or Charles Oliveira.
Paddy Pimblett.
You're on fire still. All right,
3 for
here we
3.
go. Conor McGregor or Volkanovski.
Connor.
It's not missing. And then last, we got
Oh.
Kamaru Usman and Israel Adesanya.
Izzy. That's easy.
There you go. Yeah, see,
There
that
we
was
go.
perfect, man.
There we go.
Flawless.
Well, I'm just going off like I think the more popular fighter and like the more hyped fighter. So and they're obviously
Yeah, that's great actually, because we kind of do see that reflection in the market. It's the popularity, basically. If they've got a big social media following, if they do something cool like a crazy knockout, it does reflect on the UFC market. So, I mean, you hit that right on the head, basically.
Yep.
nice. I like it.
You're 5 for 5.
Not as bad as I thought. No, I feel like anything kind of UFC, I do pretty well. Like I did this other thing with Bilal, Bilal Muhammad, his little he has a podcast and it was just like it's almost like UFC trivia, you know. And I thought other games, I'm like I'm horrible at games like trivia and stuff, but it was all like it's like nicknames for 300, and then it's like boom, I nailed it all, and I beat what was his name, Chris, the guy that does the front flip. Is it Chris Barnett or no?
Yeah, Chris Barnett.
Yeah, he's super funny. So he's so I was matched up against him and I smoked him in it. Like I got like everything right. So it's kind of funny.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Well, so I do want to ask you one more question. If you had to take a wild guess, as far as rookies go in the UFC, which rookie do you think everybody wants? It could be this year, last year, your rookie year, which I think your rookie year and UFC product was tops 2018. So it could be all the way back to 2017, 2018 to present. Which rookie do you think everybody just wants?
I feel like a lot of people are probably trying to get, Habib's rookie, Habib, and I don't know. I'd say like Habib, Connor. That's just it. Like, is it just like my opinion or
your opinion? I just wanted to see what you probably thought would be like the highest people as far as rookie go, or maybe not even rookie. Who do you think everybody just wants in the UFC card community?
That's probably what I'm thinking. Like Habib, Connor, Izzy, rookies.
Those are.
And then nowadays,
right
I'll say a lot of people are probably looking for O'Malley's rookie, Paddy Pimblett. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Those are like easy calls. That's just kind of what I think, just based off.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's basically what everybody searches for at the moment.
Josh, for our last question, what's next for you? What's coming up in whether it's UFC or personal, whatever you want to share? What's up next for you? Let the people know.
like as far as like the UFC goes, I'm like, who knows with them? I'm I feel like I should be the clear like next title challenger for Volkanovski, but he's going up to lightweight, so I'm like, all right, let's do the interim title. I will fight anybody for interim belt. I want to fight Volkanovski because he is the pound for pound and he's the featherweight champ. So I just want to show people how good I am, but I don't know. So I'm hoping to hear some news or whatever happens in the coming weeks, from Dana and Hunter. But that's about it. I'm just back to training and just getting prepared, because I feel like they'll kind of spring something on me short notice like they always do. And so I've never turned a fight down, and whatever they offer me, I'll most likely take. And so we'll kind of see. So that's my that's kind of just what I've been working on and just getting prepared. So if something does come up short notice.
Well, and speaking of that, one of my favorite moments seeing you fight and of being the UFC fan was seeing your knockout of Ricardo Lamas. I mean, that was a knockout that I remember where I was watching that fight, and it was kind of, I think, your breakthrough performance into the top 10, top 15, Josh. And so I think it's going to be fun to watch your career unfold the rest of the way, and hopefully we'll see the belt around your waist one day. That's for sure.
That's the plan. And that was an awesome knockout just because it was my second fight at featherweight. And it's like, I wanted that fight, and Lamas was ranked number 3. And that's when he was doing really well. That's when he was going to fight Holloway. I think, he was going to fight Aldo. Right. And the winner of them was going to go up and fight it was between Holloway and Edgar, but Edgar got injured, so Aldo went up, and so that's why I hopped in on 3-week notice.
Yep.
But I knew what it would do for my career. I knew I could beat him, and I just kind of leapfrogged the entire division and went to number 3 at the time. And we just saw O'Malley, do that and jump the entire division. They usually don't do that, what I mean? Right. When someone wins, like, they don't usually take their spot like that. But obviously they're pushing him, and he, a lot of people want him to fight for the title, and I think I knew he can compete with the best, and a lot of people don't give him the credit he deserves. Like, he is good, you know what I mean? Yeah, he can hang with anyone, but as far as the judges go, I don't know about that call, but it was a good fight, though, you know what I mean? And so hopefully, he gets his shot. Dana did say the winner of that gets a shot, and I feel like since Dana said that in a press conference, he's, if he says something out loud like that, he's kind of, will stick to his word. So we'll see. Yeah.
We're super excited for you, because as soon as I saw Volk go into the ring at 280, I was like, all right, let's see what's next for Josh, because I know you want that championship fight. I know you deserve it, man. So I'm excited to see what's up next for you, because I know we've got Cater and then Arnold Allen fighting this weekend. So I feel like it's only a matter of time before you get something big coming up.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like. Even with that, I feel like they're kind of waiting to see what happens with this fight. But at the end of the day, I'm still like, Cater wins, I just beat him. And then if Allen wins, this is the first opponent that he's fought in the top 10. He hasn't fought one person in the top 10. So I'm like, I would be 9-0 too if I fought everyone he fought. So we'll see. But both great fighters. They seem like good. He seems like a good dude. But I'm just like, I just feel like I'm the I should be. Everyone I fought is in like the top 10 or the next up and coming fighter on a 3-4 fight win streak, and I kind of derail their position, and then they're like, Josh, what do we do with this guy? And then they just, so it's kind of funny, but at the end of the day, it's like, as long as I just keep winning fights, it's like everything that I want will fall into place. It'll just take a lot longer than, the guys that they're really trying to push.
100%. Yeah, I completely agree. So thank you so much for taking your time out of your day and talking with us and giving us an awesome little episode, man. I really do appreciate it. And I know Devin and Fahad do as well.
It means so much to us, Josh. We really appreciate it.
And I'm super happy to hear like your experience with cards and the behind the scenes of everything. It's been
what we do for a living.
Yeah,
so to hear you from you,
that's awesome.
Great. So,
and where are you guys based out of?
St. Louis, Missouri. We have a shop. It's for almost 2 years now in St. Louis.
Yep.
Oh, St. Louis.
Yep. St. Louis. Yep.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's awesome. Maybe I'll swing by one of these days. I have some family that lives in the Ozarks, and I still haven't gone out to visit them. I need to, but if we were, we'd probably fly into St. Louis. So, and I've always wanted to check it out. I used to be a huge McGuire fan, so I always called him over to the Cardinals after he was here with the A's. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we're like 12 minutes away from the airport anyway, so it'll be a quick road trip to us. So.
We'd love to have you.
That's right.
We'd love to have you.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, thanks again, Josh. If you've got any last shout outs of anything you're working on, anything you want to tell the people, just let them know.
Yeah, really anything. People can check my website out. It's joshemmett.com. So just all like the companies that, sponsor me and I'm 100%, all into. I only work with the best products, best people. There's also, I have some apparel on my website too. So people want to check that out, they can go ahead and do so. And that's about it. I appreciate your guys' time. And let me know if you want me to hop on here again sometime.
Awesome. We'll definitely keep in touch, man. Thank you so much, Josh.
You bet. You guys have a good one.
You too.